Alright, they didn't see things correctly. We're not going to go with that. The witch cast a spell on them. Think that really makes any sense. One of them is the witch. Does that really make any sense, actually? Does that make any sense? I don't think any of these make any sense. I don't like any of these answers. I'm gonna use a hint coin. Alright. I guess that's fair. I'm gonna go with one of them as the witch. While it might seem far-fetched, the reality is actually rather simple. The real witch, the real murderer in this case, is actually one of these 5 witnesses. What? What? You're telling us that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? What utter rubbish. There is no possible way that such a claim could be true. That's right, you've got a whole lot of nerve accusing one of us of being a witch. We have told you nothing but the truth, yet you still have the gall to bat around such an outrageous accusation. Behold, behold, as my trusty shield deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are. Visitor Barnham? Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here. I requested it from the court illustrator just in case. Very well, witnesses. Would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now. The witnesses doesn't add up. Looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface out of this case. That's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman. The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. One of the witnesses is the witch. That could only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth. It would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright. Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses. A serious accusation. Did it prove to be a false one? You will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear? Huh? But that wasn't so much my suggestion. I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it. It is the same thing, Sir Blue Knight. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same thing, Mr. Wright. Oh boy. Now, ready your sword. Ready? Are you listening? Claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime, can you not? Come now, Sir Blue Knight. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Sir Doughy Defender. Show us where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place. I have no idea. Alright, so if I use a hint coin, it's just going to cross out all the men. I have a feeling, but I'm going to use a hint coin because I literally have no idea. Oh. This Guess this was simpler than... okay. Oh, I have to... I was like, how do I present this?
Got it!
Oh, I hit present. Which must have been standing here.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? Fortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection!
Visitor Barnham, suggest you try taking a look at this. Alright, the 1 meter thing. Grand Grimoire. According to this tome, Ignace summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection!
Of course, you needn't say any more, Sir Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection!
True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there was one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight. Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it. How was the witch able to hide in plain sight?
Take that!
Take that. This Talia Magica contains 2 magic gems. Ignace and 1 other spell. That's right, the spell Demir. Demir. It cannot be. That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene, only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Demir. What foolishness is this? Order in the court. Defender, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Demir to make the Talia Magica disappear.
Objection!
Farce. According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Demir, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body in the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear. Are you implying that this is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses? Indeed it is, which means witnesses. Someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. How absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not? That's right. We are not witches. Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right. I'm afraid you are all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group. The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses, huh? Fine by me. Time to put an end to this trial. Probably the flower girl, because we have her glasses. And it's probably, since she's the farthest back, it's like, how did you see anything? How can you say anything about this? She's probably going to say something like, oh, I saw it as clear as day. You wish to know where we all were standing tonight. It matters not. Would the flames not burn just the same? The flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blighters were roasting, so I rushed right over. Heard the incantation, then the flame suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us. As I said, there were only 3 others present, like that man there who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. A most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. A witch among the witnesses. What an utterly baseless claim. I don't think so, Barnham. The only baseless claim in this case is of Aspella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is. Did I see the Max Headroom reboot news? For Tron? I saw the link, yeah. I think I posted something under that. Although it was in reference to the video game, not the movie. What's bacon? Now that we're talking about some cooking, Mr. JRPG. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store, and I decided, you know what, I've been going out to eat like literally every day. So I should probably, get some actual real food. That would probably be a good idea. So I was in the meat department, and I was like, you know what? All right, let's cook something. I saw these flat steaks, and I was like, hey, that would be nice. But where's the chicken fajitas? And I went over further down the line, found some chicken fajitas, and I was like, ooh, I want some of those. And then right next to the chicken fajitas, a few sections over, I saw herb and garlic marinated flat steaks. And I was like, whoa, those are the exact same price as the normal flat steaks. It's like there's no lose. I love herbs and garlic. So I got me some flat steaks, and I got me some chicken fajitas. And I cooked one of those flat steaks yesterday, and it was so good. It was so good. I am getting me another. I might have to go to the grocery store more often, I guess is where I'm going with this. I also decided to get a new type of rice. It is, I normally just get the store brand white rice, which, is it's okay. It tastes like store brand white rice. But I decided to get a new kind called basmati rice, which I've had before, but I've never, made it at home, in my rice cooker. And the basmati rice is awesome. It is totally awesome. Unfortunately, I bought a 10-pound bag of the store-bought rice, so I need to go through that first. But once I go through that 10-pound bag, I'm probably going to permanently switch over to basmati rice, because when it comes out of the rice cooker, it just smells so good. The store-bought rice, it just doesn't smell like anything you want to smell. It doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't smell like basmati rice. And then basmati rice also has like a nice taste to it. It's just nice. The only problem with basmati rice is they're thinner grains of rice and they're longer. So it's not like the easiest thing to I guess maneuver them, get them out of the rice cooker and things like that and make it look all nice. Not that I care about making it look all nice, but that's the only downside, is the grains just don't hold together as well. But anyways, I did that and I was very pleased with myself. I don't want to go to the grocery store like every week or every other week or something like that. But I think what I'll have to start doing is, instead of going out to eat for one day of the week, maybe every 2 weeks, one of those days, I just go to the grocery store and I get some food. Or maybe I get some food from the grocery store and then I go out to eat. And then like the next day I can cook and kind of work in a little bit more of cooking at home that I used to do that I don't do anymore. Anyways, I continue with the game. What saw and what we didn't see. Gonna step away for a second. Did you see what you said? Oh, never mind. Okay, no. Getting a reboot basically on AMC. Yeah, I don't know about the whole Tron thing. I'm not like a big Tron fan. I think the first movie's pretty cool. I think the more recent movie that came out like 6 years ago or whatever, like it was okay. It could have been better. But a visual novel in the Tron franchise is very interesting. You wish to know where we were? We're standing all night. It matters not. Would the flames not burn the same?
Hold it!
It's not this guy. In other words, you're not sure exactly what happened tonight. Is that right? Defender, I fought with burning vigor this night. Do not belittle my efforts. Right. A knight does not just run away at the mere sight of fire. Oh, no one even said anything about running away. If I may be perfectly straight with you, the pillar of fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air. There, by the fire, was the witch, and excluding the two fortunate knaves,
What?
I counted 3 others at the scene.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira. What do you want? Looked like you had something to say about the testimony just now. Well, it's about the number of people at the crime scene. Have you ever played the Daisy Pedal game? Daisy Pedal game? 1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, 6 witnesses. What an adorable game. It seems like something out of a fairy tale. Seriously, Your Honor. Anyway, you may continue with your testimony, witness. The flame, I never saw anything quite like it. It literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
Hold it!
Must have been pretty terrifying, huh? Yes, it's the kind of thing you only read about in books. The moment that pillar of fire erupted, I could feel my throat tightening up. It was so difficult to breathe, I couldn't even manage to so much as scream. Quite. After all, the flames engulfed the scene in the blink of an eye. Yes, I'm sorry. That's why I can't really remember. Well, you can't remember the number of people at the crime scene. Naturally, that is understandable, witness. That is also why I was a little late getting to the scene compared to the others. I heard the tiniest cry, and then, when I turned around, the blighters were roasting, so I rushed right over.
Hold it!
Dog is barking outside. Wonder if Eminem will guest star? Alright, relax. Relax. Tiniest cry? Might have been someone saying the incantation for that spell. My memory is kinda hazy on that one. Scared me good, though. Man. There was an itch on my nose and it just won't go away. It scared me good, though. Never jumped up to me feet so fast in all my life. Nearly had a heart attack, I tell you. Jumped up? Right? It was still raining cats and dogs, so being the resourceful chap that I am, I decided to doze under a tree for a bit.
Hang on!
Everything all right, Mr. Wordsmith? What is it you want this time, young one? Just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on the testimony just now. Yes, thoughts about slumbering under trees, you mean. Slumbering? I often find myself weaving the most intricate of dreams under that very tree. Of course, I could not nap tonight, not with that uncouth man usurping my special dreaming spot, could I? Are you using this cross-examination to argue over a napping spot? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. Witnesses, please continue your testimony. Heard the incantation, then the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain there was only 3 people with us.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely certain? Well, I believe so, but then, when you think about it, can anyone really be absolutely certain of anything? It worries me that you're saying that in the middle of a cross-examination. I believe the witness means there is no way she could be certain whether there were 4 witnesses or 5 at the crime scene. Anyhow, there was a matter of great importance that Snowy and I had to tend to. You must mean... That's right, the milk. If any soot had gotten into that milk, it would be a tragedy, to end all tragedies.
Hang on!
Could I stop you there, mister? Mister? Oh, tone down the volume, Louis. That's my line. Does anything come to mind regarding Miss Mary's testimony? Nope, not really. Nothing important anyways. Just that I think this old lady is full of it. Huh? Talking about the milk, man. The milk. You'll know the second you try this stuff. It ain't nothing to write home about, let me tell you. What are you saying, you dolt? Who on earth would let you drink anything as delicious as the milk from my farm? A ruffian like you is better served by whatever unthinkable liquid is in that never-ending mug of yours. Are you guys using this cross-examination to argue over milk? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. Witnesses, please continue your testimony. As I said, there were only 3 others present, like that man there, who was stumbling around like a newborn calf.
Hold it!
So including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That is how it has come to pass. By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf? That was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say. You must mean the witness permanently glued to his cup of whatever it is he's drinking. I can't say alcohol in this game, but you can show it. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over.
Hang on!
Something the matter, mister? Mister? Calm down the volume. My line. Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press this witness. Looks like this guy even managed to scare Barnham half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that? I'm gonna set the record straight right now. In no way was I stumbling around anywhere. I'd like to think of it more like staggering with style. A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night. Hey, look, I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. But anyway, I kind of tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So you could say I put me life on the line. proven that you really need to watch where you're going when you run. How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal. Lord, this testimony is meaningless. Is a meaningless waste of everyone's time. Well, Defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning? Anything worth pursuing here? What should I do? About like how this guy is over here, but you know what? We have hint coins. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you? Well, to be honest with you, it ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught me attention. Out of nowhere, I sort of heard someone call out me name. You heard your name? Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right? Well, you heard someone call out, "Hey, you," from behind, you mean? What? I said they called out my name. How many guys, do you know called, "Hey, you"? My name is Amir. And don't you forget it, Bluey, you hear me? Must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Amir. You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh? That's harsh. Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now? Not at all, he's always been Mr. to me. Knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries. It is the first I have heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Amir. Sorry, I didn't know his name either. I only remember the names of my most loyal customers. Okay, looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name. You know, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either. But seriously, I've already got the connection, by the way. Amir, the spell, his name was right behind him. It's the flower girl. We've already decided that it was the flower girl. I definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be me age, you really start to wonder when you'll find that true love, you know? I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been Miss Sweetie. Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Amir's testimony meaningless, would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony. Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please reflect only the important points of your story. I'm telling you, I heard someone call my name and I was looking around trying to find them. The scene, but when I ended up tripping, someone called my name from behind. Let's save.
Hold it!
Then we'll press this. His name, Amir. Don't sweat it, Bluey. Mr. Hey You, it's all the same to me. Stated that you heard your name being called from behind. Are you absolutely sure of that? Well, right or wrong, it sure sounded like my name. I mean, what else could it have been? I wouldn't have remembered it happening if I hadn't heard something, right? Still. Maybe there's a chance I just imagined it, huh? But anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me. Somewhere behind you. Something the matter, Mr. Wright. Mir's memory isn't the most accurate, but if what he says is true, then there's definitely something there. Something, you say? Might you mean a contradiction? Yeah, I think so, although I don't know. There's just something strange about his testimony. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help. You mean to say you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence?
Objection!
Lord, this line of interrogation is a complete waste of the court's time. Defender, I must warn you, from here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly. If I don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial in Espella. You are intent on finding a fault in this witness's testimony. You need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims. Not one single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now? Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton. I have an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need of evidence. A weapon? Now, defender, give us your answer. Yes, Your Honor. Defense finds that the witness's testimony Your Honor, the defense believes there is a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Objection!
What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight. You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you?
Objection!
Playing that Layton music. You done goofed now. If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Barnham. Allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in a world that forgoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking. Whatever do you mean? You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss the one remaining weapon in this cross-examination. The remaining weapon. This trial has taught us a valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not? You mean questioning, right, Professor? Indeed it is, Luke. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. That gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing. Something else we can get from a 5-person cross-examination? That's right, of course. Indeed, Mr. Wright, contradictions. Should one witness's testimony differ from another's testimony, then suppose that in itself can be considered a contradiction, can it not? Testimony contradicting testimony. I never would have thought of that until now. Enough, Sir Blue Knight. Are you prepared to present to the court evidence proving the contradiction within this witness's testimony? The witness's testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony. What are you talking about? It's time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touchscreen. There you will see the testimony of the witness in question, as well as those other witnesses. Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradicting testimony. Alright, let's give this another shot, Nick. Make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record, too. Okay, you wish to know... I hurried to the scene... Alright. Wish to know where I was standing, matters not. Flames burn just the same. claim I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless, and even so much as scream. I heard the incantation, then the flame suddenly erupted. Certain of it, only saw 3 people there with us. As I said, there were only 3 others present, like that man there, who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. You'll feel like it's this guy. It's like, how do you see him? Under the tree and all that other stuff. I mean, if he was over, I can't point. If he was over here, like, sure, but... Hold on, what does this say? A sketch of the scene... Sketch of the scene at the time of the crime. It has to be this guy. But use a hint coin, because I have hint coins. Oh, I got bodied. Alright, I mean, like, I know the end goal is the flower girl, but I don't know when the flower girl is the choice. And, like, her testimony doesn't say anything.
Objection!
I'm just gonna go with her. The person contradicting this man's testimony is none other than you, Miss Kira. I don't see how, but, you know, well, I guess we'll get there. Are you both pointing at me? At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call his name. That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. Could not have been anyone else. And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak. Right, we're throwing logic out the window, and we're just making accusations here. This is a clear contradiction. It could have been literally anybody.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this, defender? Can you really claim to trust this sham of a witness and his sham of a testimony?
Objection!
That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over. He heard a woman's voice calling his name. Very concrete reason, and reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection!
If it is as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible. That's right, why me? People barely hear when I'm out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. Besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? Me? What are you getting at, young lady? Do you honestly think that a woman my age would be out late at night in the forest flirting with questionable men? Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I have called out to him? Neither did I. And even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want? Come on, ladies, I'm standing right here, you know. As I was saying, the only person that guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira. The defense wishes to present evidence to prove this claim. To accuse a witness like this young lady here, why, this is simply unheard of. Must warn you, defender, if you cannot prove your accusation to this court, you will see the underside of my gavel. Show us the evidence proving this young lady was the one who called out to this man or whatever. Demir.
Take that!
Oh, I think I was wrong. Piece of evidence proves. My apologies, but I believe that may not be the correct piece of evidence. Thanks, that was fast. Please, Mr. Wright, having come this far, do not falter here. Please stop kidding around, listen to Professor. Think about it, Mr. Wright. We'd both been following the same trail of thought until just now. Sorry, I have to hurry and think of something. Think all you want, Sir Baker, but not before taking a penalty. Grant you another chance. Show us the evidence proving this young lady was the one who called out to this man at the time of the crime. Alright.
Take that!
Alright, when the, okay, I guess I got a step ahead of myself. Take a look at this and you'll have your answer. This is the crime scene sketch. See the position of each witness during the crime. Which, you know, I get ahead of myself a lot in these games. Because, you know, I already have the conclusion. It's like, I have to find the one piece of thing to put into the slot, and it's tough. The only person that could have possibly heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection!
Listen here, Sir Blue Knight. I will only tell you this one more time. A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That is all there is to it. Did you in fact see this flower girl's face? You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'd fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face. Okay, but you heard her voice, right? Let me think. The voice came out of nowhere, and it was kind of high-pitched. And I guess it kind of sounded like her, but I can't say whether or not it was this girl's voice. And there you have it, Sir Blue Knight. Such a pity. Huh? Lord, it is clear that the defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior. Indeed, Inquisitor. Ready yourself, defender. Is that laughter? Pardon me, my lord. It looks like you've finally arrived at a decision. That means this has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnham? What are you saying? Saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers. I mean, look at all these flowers left over. It's going to take until sunrise to sell them if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock of flowers to help a girl out. No, I don't think, I mean... And it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption. Understood, the court will dismiss the witness. Well, Miss Kira, it would seem you are beginning to show the court your true colors. Oh, whatever do you mean? Okay then, everyone, it looks like that's that.
Hold it!
Why would she do this? Wait, you can't leave yet. This cross-examination isn't over. Now that's funny. You say it isn't over, yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnham? The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused Dispella Cantabella. This girl is nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will. This is bad if they let her walk out now. Nick, do you think she could be the real witch? You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender? Let me spell it out for you one last time, so even you can understand. I didn't know this man's name at all before today, and I still don't remember it. So how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
Hold it.
You just disappear? One moment, please, Kira. Or Miss Kira. There's something else you wanted? You don't seem to realize that what you just let slip. What are you talking about? The man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time, is that correct? That's right. This weirdo is just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told it to us earlier. There's just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice he heard tonight was actually saying. Huh? What do you mean? That's obvious. It was his name, wasn't it? What was his name again? But Lord, I'm still here, you know. You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely. Indeed I am, Inquisitor Barnham. Something else. Aha! Only one thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there. Man, I latched onto this forever ago. That's right, Mr. Wright. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. Bars. Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court? It's ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant. Witness, what you are being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this courtroom so long as any reasonable doubt remains. Defender, you may present your evidence. Show the court what the voice this man heard was really saying. You gotta think as slow as these court proceedings? Yeah, that's what it seems like, huh?
Take that!
You had which witch delivered to you yesterday. You need to figure out what you will do for lunch. Here for work today. Didn't pack anything. Max Headroom is different from Tron. Both AI-based IPs from the 80s throw. And I thought I saw you post 2 Tron-related news things. One was a movie and the other one was like Tron 3. Is that not Max Headroom related? I thought Max Headroom was like the director or something like that. Excuse me, mister. I'm sorry, what's your name again? You've got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason. Hey, it's Amir. My name's Amir, darn it. How many times have I gotta say it? No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Amir. Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single daisy. Come on, guys, stop kicking a guy when he's down. Mr. Amir, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name. Another name? Answer is right here in this tome. I'm talking about Amir. Amir? What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation. What the? Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you didn't know this man's name.
Objection!
Sir Blue Knight, let me get this straight. You're saying that the Amir heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl, and that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell. The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, this supposed witch, is not the defendant, Miss Isabella Cantabella. But instead, the witness who was heard uttering the magic incantation, Miss Kira, she's our witch, used magic to vanish from the scene and tried to frame Miss Cantabella instead. No! What just happened? That girl is Isabella really not a witch? Unbelievable, I've never heard anything like this. Inquisitor Barnham. Have those two really defeated Inquisitor Barnham?
Objection!
An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull. What do you mean? I'm referring to a contradiction, naturally. Hey, that's my line. Lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening. Very well, Inquisitor Barnham. Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused, Isabella Cantabella, was surrounded by the two rogues. Then, in order to frame the accused as a witch, Miss Kira cast the spell Demir and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignace, thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight. He's going to talk about how the distance, like she would have to get behind him in order to cast the spell, which is something that I thought of too, which, you know, stuff. That does seem to be the claim. Problem is, what happened next? There's a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements. Contradiction in her movements. Allow me to continue. The witnesses have stated that they each ventured out towards the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point while invisible. When she arrived at said spot, she then cast a mirror and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight? That is correct. And Mr. Amir heard her call his name. Well then, I have but one question that I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing? What do you mean? Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene. Quite right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch. Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch. What? What just happened? Is that girl, is Kira really not a witch? Inquisitor Barnham just turned this entire trial right around. Just what I'd expect from Labyrinthia's Sword of Justice. Oh, folklore is getting more points.
That's right! You all heard it! It's just as Inquisitor Barnum said! Me, a witch! The idea is laughable!
Not good. He's completely bounced back on our feet. Ooh, we were so close too. I can't believe Inquisitor Barnham. Can't he see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's the real witch here. Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail. Mr. Layton! I'm sure you've had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. The situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time? What I usually do? How do you know he's a defense attorney? I don't think he ever said he was an attorney. He's a defense baker. Of course. There's only one thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've got to flip this case on its head and think outside the box. It would seem the defense has nothing further to add. Why, of course, that's because everyone knows the truth. They know that girl right there is the real witch. That settles it then. Go ahead and deliver your verdict, my lord.
Objection!
The situation is exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnham. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used the mirror. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear. Now the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, then this entire case will start to unravel. Most fascinating. Very well. Allow us to hear this theory of yours. Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Well, we're still in the game. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The reason Miss Kira reappeared at the scene of the crime was... Guess to become a witness. I'm gonna hint coin this though. Because I haven't. Alright, that's actually not a very good one to eliminate, unfortunately. I'm gonna go with that. Answer is obvious. She must have wanted to become a witness herself.
Objection!
Sir Blue Knight, do not slam your hands down on the desk unless you have a strong point to make. Same goes for your mouth. Don't waste your breath on such nonsense. Huh? Have a look at the number of witnesses. We already have 4 other willing witnesses. Becoming a witness on purpose would accomplish nothing. You may as well have sat in the stands and watched the trial. Well, you don't know that for sure. Nope, he's absolutely right. Bender, something tells me you must be thinking something along the lines of, he is absolutely right. Please quit reading my mind, Your Honor. Just you think before opening your mouth. Okay. One more chance. Please tell the court. I have 2 more chances. Oh. Alright. I guess she's covering up her crime. I don't really think this really makes any sense. But, okay. Can't think of any other possibility. This has to be the answer. Isn't it obvious? She was trying to cover up her own crime. Oh, is that right? Tell me, why would she do that? Well, just give me a minute. I'm getting to that part. That will not be necessary, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? Think about it. What would she have to hide? If no one could have seen her to begin with. Heard the good Inquisitor. No matter how you look at it, there'd be no reason for me to reappear, assuming I was the criminal, that is.
Objection!
I can't argue with her here. Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case. Mr. Layton? Explain yourself, Sir Top Hat. How do you know it's a top hat? Are there top hats in this era? I don't think so. You have stated that Miss Kira had no reason to reappear. However, the situation changed and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira? Huh? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence. Mr. Wright, I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself at the crime scene. Rather, that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear. So important that she had to reappear and risk being spotted. Her glasses, defender. Tell the court. I don't remember where they found these glasses, though.
Take that!
Miss Kira, you usually wear glasses, is that correct? Huh? Like I already told you, I lost my glasses a few days ago. Are you absolutely sure about that? Or did you not, in fact, lose them tonight during the crime? Of course not. Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime. Then, as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone. Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses. No!
Objection!
How absurd. Such baseless conjecture. What you propose is fundamentally flawed. What do you mean? Let us assume, hypothetically, that the witch did in fact drop this evidence. That does not explain what purpose it would serve for her to make herself reappear. It would still make more sense for her to escape under cover of darkness.
Objection!
Fortunately, Inquisitor Barnham, such a plan was simply not possible. What? Mr. Wright, do you understand what I'm suggesting? Yes. He means the reason Miss Kira made herself reappear at the crime scene. Okay, this is it. I have no idea. Thunder, enlighten us. Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear?